Good morning, students. We will continue with adjectives. Today we do degrees of comparison. Now there are three different degrees of comparisons. So that is, you compare. You know an adjective. When you have an adjective, you are comparing the adjectives. So in the same category, the same adjective, how you can compare? Like as you say, good, better, best. Okay, big, bigger, biggest. Now when you talk of good, better, best or big, bigger, biggest, you are comparing. Yeah, it's the same. You're describing something in the same way that it is big. But only thing you will, it's the degrees, how big. It is bigger than something else or it is biggest than anything else. Okay. That's how you are going to compare it. Okay. Now, let's see. There are three different degrees of adjectives. Most adjectives are gradable. So, gradable means you can compare them in this way. This means that they can be compared. The three degrees of an adjective are positive, comparative, and superlative. When you use them depends on how many things you're talking about. Okay, so this positive, comparative, and superlative we are talking about, this will be used according to the number of things you are talking about. Okay, if you're talking of just one thing, you use the positive degree. If you're talking of two things, you use the comparative degree, because you're comparing between two things, okay, which is bigger, which is bigger. And if you're talking of more than two things, that's when you use the superlative degree. Okay, so remember, positive means just one thing, comparative means two things, you're comparing two things, and superlative means there it is the number of things being spoken about is more than two. Okay. A positive adjective is a normal adjective that's used to describe, not compare. So it's just describing something. It is he is big, he is small, he is short, he is fat, he is thin, he is fair. The story was long. So you're just talking about one thing, one story. You're talking about one person, he. Okay. Example: this soup is good. I am funny. Then a comparative adjective is an adjective that used to compare two things and is often followed by the word than. So 99.9% of the time when you use a comparative adjective, you also use the word than after it. Okay. For example, this soup is better than salad. So here you are comparing two things, that is soup and salad, and you feel that the soup is better than the salad. So I am funnier than her. So here again you are comparing yourself to her and you find that you are funnier than she is. Okay. Superlative degree is an adjective that's used to compare three or more things or to state that something is the most. Okay. So three or more. It should be three or more. It could be any number more. Okay. Maybe you're comparing everything in the whole world. Okay. Okay. Example: this is the best soup in the whole world. So here you're comparing the soup that maybe you're having, comparing it to each and every soup in the whole world. So you're comparing to n number of soups, how many ever types of soups there are in the whole world, and you feel that this is the best. Next, I am the funniest out of all the other bloggers. So you're comparing yourself to all the bloggers. Okay, you are comparing yourself to all the bloggers, and among all the bloggers you feel that you are the funniest. Now these three degrees only work for descriptive adjectives. So you cannot compare the other types of adjectives like adjectives of number, etc., relative adjective. No. You can only compare descriptive adjectives in this manner. Yes, in the positive, comparative, and superlative degree. If a descriptive adjective has one, or now how do you know which of these to use? Two syllables, you can turn it into a comparative and superlative form by adding er and est. Okay, how do you change the degree of comparison? Two syllables like loud, loud, two sounds. Two syllables means two sounds. Mouth, mouth. Okay, loud. Just two sounds. So then you can make it louder and loudest. Okay, like see for example, you can say that the song is loud or louder than any song or the loudest out of all the songs. Descriptive adjectives with three or more syllables don't use the er and est ending. So if your word has more generally more than three sounds in it, like beautiful, there are three separate sounds in it. Yes, that time you do not use er and est to change the degree. Then, so for example, can't be turned into beautifuler and beautifulest. Those aren't words at all. Instead, you add the words more and most before it to turn it into a comparative or superlative adjective. So you say beautiful in the positive, more beautiful in the comparative, and the most beautiful in the superlative. Now remember, when you are saying most beautiful, always the word the will be there. The most beautiful, the biggest. Okay, when you're using the superlative degree, always the is there. Clear? So the word doesn't change at all. The word remains the same. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Only thing you add the word more over here, you add the word the most. Clear? Okay. For some, there are some exceptions to these rules, as with most grammar rules. For example, good only has one syllable, but it turns into better and best. So good has only one syllable. It should have become er and est, but it doesn't. So there are some words which are an exception to this rule of your sounds with one or two syllables becoming er and est, adding er and est and changing the degree, and sounds with more than three syllables or three or more syllables where you have to add more and the most. Okay, and change the degree. Now what are these exceptions? Let's see. Formation of comparative and superlative forms of creatable adjectives. Now you have positive, comparative and superlative degree. Light, this is the regular adjectives, okay? Light. See just two sounds. Light becomes lighter, lightest. Larger, two sounds. Becomes larger, largest. Pretty becomes prettier, prettiest. Sad, just one syllable. Sadder, saddest. But here remember this two D's are there over here. And here when you remove the Y and add IER. Remove the Y and add IER. Beautiful becomes more beautiful, most beautiful. Difficult becomes less difficult or more difficult and least difficult. Okay, so here you can also say less beautiful or least beautiful. Here you can also say more difficult or most difficult. Okay, so I've given you both the examples where you're comparing something with lesser than you or something with more than. Okay, now irregular means which are changing in a different manner. They don't have this regular method or a formula to change. Okay, like good becomes better, best, bad, worse, worst, much, more, most, little, less, least. Old becomes either older or elder. Old when you're talking of age, yes, and elder when you're talking comparing how elder they are to each other. Okay, old is the actual age, like 40, 50. Okay, old, elder, or eldest, oldest. Far, farther, or further. Farther is when you're talking of a long distance, further is you're talking of a short distance. Farthest and furthest. You can change the degree of sentences in the following ways. Steel is the strongest metal, so it is a superlative degree. Now you are comparing. What you have to do is look at the word that has to be changed. Strongest. Okay. So you think what would be the three words? Strong, stronger, strongest. Correct? Strong, stronger, strongest. So now when they're telling you to form the comparative degree, you know it is stronger. So when you say stronger, you will always have the word than after it. See, the strongest, always the and the superlative. Then you have the comparative degree and than after it. Always. This is like a formula you should remember. Steel is stronger than any other metal. So there is no other metal which is as strong as steel. That is positive, because now your positive degree is strong. And remember, in front of the word you will have as, after the word you will have as in positive degree. This is the regular one. Okay. So you will have as, strong as, stronger than, the strongest. Clear? Okay. So when you're changing, this is the way you have to remember. Okay. Sometimes you have, now here what is they have told you in the superlative, it is the strongest. Clear? So that means there is nothing stronger than that. Now supposing I had to change it and say steel is one of the strongest metals. So it is not the strongest. There are other metals also which are as strong as steel. Maybe there is one more metal, maybe there are two more metals. Then you will change it in a different manner. Okay. So you will say steel is one of, sorry, yes, steel is stronger than most other metals, not any other. You will use most other metals over here. You will not use any other. You will use most other metals over here. Clear? Because you are not saying it is the strongest. So most of the metals are not as strong as steel. There are one or two who are as strong as, or which are as strong as steel. And you say no other metal, or you not say no other metal because now it is not the strongest. You say very few metals are as strong as steel. Understood? So if I make just one change, steel is one of the strongest. If I just say steel is one of the strongest, then this will change. Okay? So steel is stronger than most other metals, and very few metals are as strong as steel. Very few metals are as strong as steel. So when you're changing, be very careful. Whether it is the strongest, it's nothing stronger than that, or it is one of the strongest. Okay? So you will change it accordingly. Exercise and homework. Change the sentences as instructed. The Taj is more famous than any other monument in India. So here you will write the positive and superlative degree. Sheetal scored the most marks in science. Here again you will write the positive and comparative degree. Third one, no one in the class is as tall as my brother. So here you write the comparative and superlative degree. Samson was the strongest man among all men. Here you write the positive and comparative degree. Very few metals. See, this is just the example that I gave you. Very few metals are as costly as gold. So remember what I told you? Very few means not many. One of the you will use. Okay. So you write the comparative and superlative degree. The second exercise, fill in the blanks with as, than, or, the, dot, dot for the adjectives. I spent more for my dress than you did. It is what? Costly will become costlier. Correct? Because you're comparing two dresses. My dress and your dress. So two things is what? Comparative degree. Okay. See, sometimes you may have more than one answer. So don't get confused. Now this has only one answer because you are comparing only two things. Next one. Mumbai is dash city in India. So busy, you can say the busiest because there's no other city as busy as Mumbai. Clear? Next one. Last Sunday was dash day of this week. So here you can say dash day means the wettest. Okay. Then next one. Samsung defeated all his enemies in the battle. There was no warrior who was, here you can say as strong as or stronger than. You can use two, both. Okay. Amit studies all the time. No one in the class is as, oh, this is a mistake. No one in the class is, here that should be Amit. Okay, I mixed two sentences. Cancel this Mumbai and write Amit over here. Write Amit over here. And here write the word studious. 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 Okay, this will be Amit and this will be studious. Studious. So no one in the class is as studious as Amit or more studious than Amit. This is Amit over here, remember. And this word is studious. Studious. Clear? Now I had sorry for the mistakes. I had a lot of problem with my lappy. It just wasn't starting and it just wasn't accepting any Word document, anything that I typed. So I couldn't make the changes and the mistakes when typing. So but then if I didn't record, I wouldn't be able to post the lessons to you all. So I've just recorded it. So I'm just telling you the corrections orally in this. Okay, because even the next video will have the same problem because of this. I want to finish the videos quickly and then give my lappy for repairing or whatever. Let's see whether it can be corrected. Okay, so just correct this because I cannot make any corrections in this document. So I can only tell you all. The only thing I could do was record it. That's what, because I'm recording it on PDF. Otherwise, it's not accepting any Word document. So I'm sorry for the inconvenience. So just make a change here. This is Mumbai and this is Studious. Studious. Okay. Thank you. And if you have any doubts, you can call me. Okay. Or you can message me. Yes. Thank you, because I'll be busy doing your oral. So don't call. Just message me. Okay. Thank you.